Alright, a few things before I take it to my buddy's shop. Got this piece here back from the machine shop. It's bolted on the block right there. Behind the pulley I had the pilot milled down from 1 inch to 5/8. I put a pilot bushing in here and 2 1/4 inch spacer with the new mechanical fan. So, or not the mechanical fan, excuse me, the clutch. You see pretty close there to that steering box. I might end up getting one that's further away later on, but that'll do for now. Got my turbo clock different. I'm gonna try to find a crossover pipe for that, and then rig up a hose that runs from the turbo intake to my stock air box, if I can, to this guy here, so I can still use the snorkel. I'd really like to use that yet. So yeah, crossover pipe, intake, new clutch and fan spacer. I also need to figure out what I want to do with this and this, as I said in the video before. I don't know if I'm going to hack that off, turn it, orient a different way, or what I'm going to do with that stuff, but we'll figure something out here. So I've got the Jeep back in my buddy's shop here. It's actually warm and it's got lights. Night and day difference. So finally got something done I've been kind of dreading for a while, not knowing how I was going to do it, and that is the radiator hoses. Kind of a slave to aesthetics. I mean, you're going to hear that a fair amount as I get into the tedious work in it. Not in particular satisfied with the way the hoses turned out, but I mean, it's a lot better than what I thought it was going to be for just kind of getting some stuff from the auto parts store and throwing it together. So what I did was an 1.5 to 1.5 just 90 silicone hose. I cut it and put a coupler in there, 1.5 coupler, and then I ran a flex hose from here to the upper water neck. And it would have ended up looking a whole lot better if this water neck was oriented, in this direction or straight up. I could have cleaned it up a bit, but it's clear the fan here, and it'll cool the engine. That's all I really care about for right now. And the lower, I thought was going to be a whole lot worse than it was. I ended up finding a reducer. It's a 2 1/4 reducer. It's this portion right here to a 1 3/4. I put a coupler in there, and then I got a 1 3/4 flex hose that runs to a 1.5 hose. So I get all excited. I get to put my snorkel on here and do some airlines and stuff, but if it's not one thing, it is another. I forgot that the airbox on the JK is half the size of this fucking engine. So I'm left with a few options. Figure out a way to get my intake to mount to this portion here and get rid of the airbox, put a conical filter in there, hack this off and turn it, heat it up and re-weld it, or, well, I guess I wouldn't want to do it straight up. So, yeah, nothing wants to go right. Yeah, problem solved. Okay, move my hose around here, filled it up with coolant. Reservoir is filled up with coolant. I run her for a while and burp the radiator. Here we go. Well, this time I've got something to show for a video. Really, like I said, I was kind of dreading doing the radiator hoses. Didn't turn out nearly as bad as I thought it would. Got some parts on the way for the next vid, so there should be more stuff done to it than this, but this way, at least when I'm sad, I can just fire up the Jeep and let it run. I don't have to worry about it overheating. So we'll have brakes. That's going to be the next thing on my list. And then just some of the random parts that are coming, so stay tuned.